Peter Dutton to offer incentive packages reportedly this morning for communities to embrace nuclear. Could you give us an idea of what sort of incentives that you might be considering?
Well, I'm not going to front run the detailed policy.
How did I know you were going to say that?
But what I will, what I will say though is this: it's pretty common when you have major facilities being built in any community that the communities receive appropriate incentives for that. That's true with renewables projects, by the way. We do see that, and it's important that that be part of any package. It's got to be good for the local community as well as good for Australia, and I think that absolutely can be the case. I mean, Chris Bowen is showing that he doesn't really understand energy systems. He doesn't understand how the costs of energy work. That's why his policies are leading us down the garden path, and while he's failing to deliver that $275 reduction he promised. But the truth is we need every technology available on the table. And this government has decided that it wants to exclude some, despite the fact that 19 out of 20 of the major countries around the world are going down this path. It is time for Chris Bowen to see the reality that nuclear should be part of the picture.
Okay, and just finally, and still with emissions, the Australian Automobile Association is today going to go on the attack over Labor's fuel efficiency standards. It's saying an insurmountable level of electric cars would need to be sold by the end of this decade. Are you open to any kind of concessions on Chris Bowen's plan here?
Well, I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to work with the proposal that we've got in front of us, which is completely unacceptable. It'll drive up the cost of Australia's favourite SUVs and utes for families and tradies by $15,000 to $25,000. This analysis is extraordinary. 50% of light commercial vehicles and utes will have to be EVs by 2029 to meet the targets. I mean, this is a Chris Bowen special, isn't it, Pete? It really is. Completely unachievable. AAA has called it out. The discounts that would be required are just, they're never going to happen. You basically almost have to be giving the cars away to achieve those sorts of outcomes. But this is what Chris Bowen does. He is not sheeted home to reality. He lives in another universe, Pete. And it's really showing in the analysis that's been done here by the Centre for Independent Economics.
Just finally, Angus, just on this GST carve-up, you're a New South Welshman. Has it received a raw deal when it comes to these GST payments?
Look, the point I'd make more broadly is you've got to accept that when a state does well, it should benefit from doing well. I mean, I'm a Liberal, that's what I believe in. So if WA does terrifically well by getting resources out of the ground and sending them off to good markets, then WA should be rewarded for that. That's kind of, I would have thought, pretty obvious. If you want a strong Australia, you've got to have the right incentives in place to have a strong economy. Right. And that's something that we believe in. But with New South Wales,
with the largest population, should it not be getting more?
Well, look, Daniel Mookhey is carrying on about this like a pork chop. And let me tell you, he just can't balance his budget. He should just balance his budget. Like every Labor treasurer, though, they love to spend money. And he's no doubt, well, he is. He's spending lots of money and so he can't balance his budget. Well, mate, do your work. Sort it out. Stop complaining and blaming everyone else. This is what we're seeing these Labor governments do. It's all someone else's fault. Well, just do your job.
Angus Taylor, good to see you as always. We'll chat to you soon.